dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. Early in the morning of December 11th, 2021, multiple tornadoes ripped through Bowling Green, taking 17 lives and leaving neighborhoods today in disarray. Tonight, on the year anniversary, the Bowling Green community came together to remember the damage done that day. Sarah Phipps met up with folks for the Light the Path Vigil to give us the full story.
It was 1 a.m. December 11th, 2021, when a storm system entered Warren County. Just 20 minutes later, multiple tornadoes began rampaging through Bowling Green.
We were in our basement, and coming upstairs from our basement, it took us a while to come upstairs. The sounds, the noises, everything, we just were unsure what to expect when we got upstairs, and that was terrifying.
Now tonight, the Bowling Green community gathered for a light vigil to honor the 17 people who lost their lives and pay tribute to those still trying to rebuild.
I had tears. It was so nice to look around. This is a busy time of year, and to know that people took time out of their crazy schedules to stop, completely stop, and remember what happened last year. It was heartwarming.
Community members gathered at sites where the tornado caused the most damage to light the path, including the National Corvette Museum, Russellville Road, and the bypass. The vigil started 1 year and 17 hours after the first tornado touched down in Warren County, lasting for 17 minutes, wherein folks shone their lights to the sky, lining the tornado's path.
I hope people are proud of our city and our community, of us coming together and the work that has been done. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we've come a long way. And I look forward to when everything is back in place.
A touching way to remember, reflect, resolve, and keep BG strong.
So I just am thankful to come here and to see that there are other people who are passionate about our community and are passionate about being here and remembering those that we lost.
Reporting in Bowling Green, Sarah Phipps, WBKO News.
For more information on tornado relief efforts, visit bgwcdisasterrecovery.org. In the 4 months spent, in the 4 months Ian and Casey Hall have spent unable to leave their home on their own, they say life has been isolated. The bridge connecting their home and Highway 899 in Knott County was destroyed in the flood, and their cars cannot get out. Casey Hall says the only social interaction they're getting is virtually with her students at Hindman Settlement School.
You know, they tell me about the vacations they're taking and the things that they're doing, and it kind of makes me happy to hear life is going on, you know. But for us, life has not moved since July.
Casey and Ian say they applied for rental assistance from FEMA, but they were denied because their house itself wasn't damaged. The Hyman United Methodist Church has been a key contributor to flood relief since July, hosting giveaways and housing recovery groups over the last 4 months. But earlier today, the church held one of their largest giveaways yet. The church gave away more than 50 bikes, household items, clothing, and so much more. Church members say this will be their last giveaway since they plan to shift their focus to helping flood survivors repair their homes.
They're always thankful for what they can get here, and we're able to tell them that we're just conduits and we're trying to be Jesus' hands and feet, because people have been so generous to bring things to us to give to people who are in need.
Those with the church say they're looking for volunteers who can help them rebuild homes. They're seeking people who are skilled in plumbing and electrical work, among other trades. Morgan County schools will be closed tomorrow. In a Facebook post, Morgan County Schools said they'll be closed tomorrow, December 12th, due to a water main break. They say this will be a regular school closure and there will not be non-traditional instruction.
Clouds continue across the mountains tonight, but the good news, we are tracking some much needed sunshine as we start the new work week. Here is a live look over at I-64 in Moorhead tonight. Over in Rowan County, temperature at 43 degrees. All is quiet at that location, and same story over at UVA-Wise. Also looking at plenty of cloud cover back in the distance. Current temperature 39 degrees over at this location. Most of us in the lower 40s at this hour, 42 for Jackson and London, 43 for Somerset and Manchester, sitting at 39 for Wise, and 37 over in Jonesville. The good news up on radar, all is quiet tonight, and that quiet weather will continue as we go overnight tonight. Maybe a few areas of patchy fog, but overall not much happening as we wake up on Monday. Temperatures falling into the middle and lower 30s, but like I said, some much needed sunshine is on the way. That full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
Definitely ready for that sunshine. Thank you, Cameron. The release of Brittany Griner as part of a prisoner exchange with Russia is raising questions about the growing problem of so-called hostage diplomacy. Experts say more foreign governments are wrongfully detaining Americans as a way to gain leverage against the United States. Bradley Blackburn has more on the issue and what authorities are doing about it.
It is the ending that Brittany Griner's loved ones hoped for, seeing her return to the United States after being detained in Russia for nearly a year.
She's safe. She's on a plane. She's on her way home.
But at the White House for the announcement, Griner's wife, Sherelle, offered a reminder about other families still waiting.
As we celebrate BG being home, we do understand that there are still people out here who are enduring what I endured the last 9 months of missing tremendously their loved ones.
Griner was part of a one-for-one prisoner exchange for Russian arms dealer Victor Bout. Left behind at the deal, former Marine Paul Whelan, who was accused by Russia of espionage.
I wish that Paul Whelan had been on that plane too.
Experts say dozens of Americans are considered wrongfully detained around the globe, some essentially taken hostage by foreign governments for political gain. Last July, the State Department added a D indicator to travel warnings for countries where Americans could be at higher risk of wrongful detention, including Russia and China.
We need to solve this problem, not just for my brother, but also for Americans in general who want to travel.
Paul Whelan's sister spoke to CBS News.
Hostile, weak foreign nations taking Americans prisoner and holding them as hostages. This has to stop, and my brother needs to come home.
The State Department says it's working with 60 nations to use visa bans, sanctions, and other measures to address the problem of hostage diplomacy. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
In the last year, the Biden administration has done other deals with foreign governments to bring wrongfully detained Americans home, including releasing a Taliban drug lord and a Russian drug trafficker. The Orion spacecraft made its ocean splashdown Sunday after a 25-and-a-half-day uncrewed test flight around the moon. It splashed down at 12:40 p.m. in the Pacific Ocean. Orion traveled nearly 1.3 million miles on the trip. Upon its return, the spacecraft traveled 32 times the speed of sound as it hit the air. The spacecraft, which launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida on November 16th, is part of NASA's historic Artemis 1 mission. The goal of the mission is to get astronauts back on the moon's surface for the first time since the 1970s. That trip is slated for 2025. Coming up at 11, the man accused of making the bomb that destroyed Pan Am Flight 103 has been taken into U.S. custody.
And we are tracking our next weather system by the middle of the week. All those details coming up.